Everybody, it's Finger Lakes today. Here on FingerLakes1.com, I'm Jim Sinacropi alongside Sydney Radka, and had a big night in high school basketball last night. Got more
Looks
big
like
games
it.
coming up on the next couple of days. Tonight and Saturday, Super Bowl Sunday, of course, is going on, and the Football Hall of Fame enlisted their class of 2023. I think it was 2023, right? Not 2024.
2022, I think, is the way they do it.
No, anyway. Well,
I'm
Nate,
not
what
sure
is
what
it?
it's considered,
They
actually,
were
to be
giving
honest.
all the awards in the beginning before I fell asleep. They were saying 2022. And I was confused at first, but TJ told me that that was correct.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know about at the end if they changed it to 2023 for the actual Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame is 23.
Yeah,
Okay.
class of 23.
Oh,
It's the year you get inducted.
I fell
so.
asleep after the first half.
I didn't watch any of it.
I didn't either. Kyle Evans had some good clips on the Finger Lakes One Sports TikTok. So
I did. I saw
so they recognized Damar Hamlin.
Mm-hmm.
he actually came out.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
really cool. It's awesome to see.
They were
him.
like, he's alive.
Yeah, he's made an amazing sort of recovery.
Yeah.
I even saw some doctors talking about that he could play football again.
Wow.
I always
know that's
thought
still
he would because
that's still down the road, of course, but yeah,
next
pretty cool.
season, hopefully, right?
Right.
Oof.
I mean, I
It's
never.
just scary.
I always thought that, once he started recovering, that he of course would play football again because it wasn't that type of debilitating physical injury. It was
Right.
And they're
We weren't sure at first.
And the gentleman who revived Damar on the field got an MVP vote, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He got a fifth place. One of the writers, I believe it was, I can't remember her name from ESPN. Susie's her first name.
Should
So
have her
she,
vote revoked.
they gave her a fifth. They gave him a fifth place vote in MVP, which is really.
I wonder
cool.
how Patrick Mahomes feels about that.
It doesn't. I mean, that's a fifth place vote. It doesn't
Yeah.
really hold a ton of weight in
Yeah.
terms of.
Hopefully
And he
he-
ran away with the
Patrick
MVP.
Mahomes.
He
was
ran away
the
with the MVP vote anyway too. It wasn't even close.
Second career MVP for Patrick Mahomes, and
Yep.
he's got, of course, one more game to play Sunday.
And he
this
could win.
season.
He could win 2 Super Bowls and 2 MVPs. What is he? 25 before the age of 26.
That's crazy.
It's pretty amazing.
I did like some of the little jokes that they make. Sometimes they're super corny, but she was making a joke about Purdy and was like, "You can't even rent a car yet." Like, I mean, good for you for
awesome.
doing what you did. And then they made a shout out to the two brothers' mom and said that she single-handedly made the Super Bowl happen this year, which was, cute. I love those little corny
Well, why don't we
things.
start off with the Football Hall of Fame inductees? There was a list of 8, right, guys? I think it was eight inductees.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't have the list in front of me. I
yeah,
know
and
Joe
we-
Thomas got in.
Yeah, I don't want to get into too much. Joe Klecko was a big one here for
Draw Rivas.
Jets fans from the former New York Sack Exchange. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
But Mark Gastineau, Joe Klecko, I don't remember the other guys, but going back to the 1980s, pretty much other than Joe Namath's Super Bowl win, the only good era in Jets history was probably the 80s. But I was disappointed that Dwight Freeney didn't get it. I mean, are you kidding me? This was his first ballot. I mean, he's certainly a first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Paul,
Well,
how do you feel?
I have a big beef anyway with the football hall because they don't have one of the greatest offensive linemen in Joe Jacoby. And that's been long overdue, but that's a little bit of bias. But yeah, I mean, I understand how you can put DeMarcus Ware in first ballot, but not Dwight Freeney in first ballot. So
Yeah, it's disgusting.
They're always going to take the Cowboy.
That's what it is. So, well, that's not really the point. I mean, if that's the case, Freeney played on arguably the people's team of the era on the Peyton Manning-led Colts for his whole career.
The
pretty
people's
much,
team
so.
of the era.
There's
But
always Cowboy
I'm
bias,
just-
though.
well, I'm
That'll
just
always
saying,
happen.
I mean, the amount of people who just love the Colts because they were led by Peyton Manning.
Our own Josh
in that
Durso.
era. So, I mean,
He's a big Peyton Manning fan.
there's that. So, yeah. It's just the same usual stuff that we discuss with, really, it's any Hall of Fame at this point, right? It's who's got the better relationships with who and whatever else. So it's whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of Hall of Fames for that particular reason.
The Hall of Very Good.
Yeah,
It's turning
right.
into.
And that is a big class and Hall of Fame. Anyways, let's shift it back locally here. And there was last night, 3 games that we had our eye on. 2 big Finger Lakes East boys games, 1 big Wayne County girls game. So how do they all play out?
Yeah, we'll start in the boys' section of things. Wayne took down Paul Mack, which is really, really huge news.
14 to 9.5 was the score.
14 to 9, was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to talk about a slog of a first half in Palmyra. 14 to 9.5.
Well, we know Paul Mack plays
led.
such good defense, too.
Yeah, that's part of it. But they held Wayne to 9 first half points and eventually lost the game.
They were up 14-9. Okay.
Yeah, Palmac was up 14 to 9.5, lost the game. I was watching it, and Ian Goodness hit a pretty crazy desperation 3 with about 6 seconds left to cut it to 3, and but Wayne was able to hold it off and hold him off for the win. Great job by Billy Thompson's boys, only scoring 9 points in the first half, but able to win the game. But of course, they held Palmac to only 14 points. But low scoring game, but huge game because Palmac had been tied with Newark in the loss column in the Finger Lakes East. And so that meant now if Newark was able to beat Waterloo last night, that Newark would take sole possession of first place in the Finger Lakes East by a game, which they did. They handled Waterloo relatively easily.
But it was tied at the half, that game.
Yep, 22-22 at the half. And
so
then
Waterloo put up a little bit of a fight, but Newark pulled away in the second half.
A couple nice dunks one nice dunk, one nice missed dunk in that one. But yeah, I had both those games up side to side on YouTube. A big night for the Finger Lakes East. So Newark takes sole control of the Finger Lakes East. If they win out now, they'll win the league, and they also have moved into first place in the Class B1 sectional standings, and also the win by Wayne does keep them alive. They're just a game back now, as is Palmac, so they pull even with Wayne and Palmac are both a game back Newark in the Finger Lakes East.
Yeah, it's so interesting with Newark. We talked about early in the year, before the year really even started, that Newark was probably our favorite, right?
Yeah.
And then you got into the season, and they didn't start their best. They lost a double-digit loss in Waterloo. They had some injuries, of course, Braden Steve and a couple other guys. And now, look, they're in the driver's seat, about a month and a half later. So that's pretty cool to see. I've seen that play out
before with Newark. They usually schedule tough and tend to get better as the season goes on, but definitely bodes well heading into the postseason to play your best basketball in February rather than November. But then the girls' side, East Rochester took on Clyde, who was reeling a little bit after their loss to Lions. And
Gananda.
Oh, and Gananda, and now they lost East Rochester as well.
Pretty big lot. It was 49-22, too. Close. So pretty good. Now that puts ER sort of in the driver's seat. Lions is kind of there, too, as well. And Gananda, of course. So still a busy Wayne County girls league. But yeah, what a statement win for the Bombers.
Out of contention.
Yeah, it looks to be 3 straight losses this week. Definitely makes it tougher. But yeah, the Bombers, that's a team we talked about early in the year that we thought would be the Wayne County champions, just with their success last year and bringing back a lot of their players. But a little bit of maybe sounded sort of like Newark, a little bit of a rocky start in league play, and now kind of playing their best basketball when you should towards the end of the season.
Right. So what do we got going on tonight and Saturday?
Tonight there's more Finger Lakes East games since there was that snowstorm last week. So Waterloo is in Wayne. Let's see here. Geneva taking on Whitman, and then over in the Finger Lakes West, Honeoye, South Seneca, and then back here in Minders, they're taking on Palmac.
So Palmac doesn't want to.
Actually, they're in Palmac. The boys are there.
Yeah.
The girls are here.
Palmac does not want to slip up again with the loss to Minders, who's only won 3 games this year, so they're heavily favored. And same thing with Wayne. They could potentially lose this game to Waterloo, which would put a damper on their big win last night. So a lot of action. And then on the other side, the girls, Palmac girls upset Waterloo last week. And now, Minders coming in a team that I think it was close down the stretch. It was
very close. Yeah, I was at that game. They had a really good chance. Maddie Verke had some big threes towards the end of that third quarter. And I think it was probably like a 5 or 7 point game, but it was even closer than that. So I would expect the Blue Devils to play well. I thought they played well against Waterloo. Waterloo just a really, really good team, and since they've lost,
Minders needs that marquee win though. They need to. They need it. I don't know how bad they need it. They're not going to win the league. They're still a high seed in Class B2.
Yep, they got a really good chance in B2. I think.
I think for mental purposes and momentum, they need to beat a team like Palmac, a team that maybe they're not favored against.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do beat the Red Raiders tonight.
That'll be interesting to see for sure. And then also, not all the action was happening On the court in high school basketball yesterday, there's some action on Facebook. I won't go into too many details, except there was quite an argument about who was the best player in Wayne County.
I think I know what you're talking
Not
about.
just the league, but just Wayne County in general.
Yep.
And I didn't get involved in it, but they were arguing, and nobody mentioned Ian Goodness. So you asked me, Ian Goodness is the best player in Wayne County, but that's
I think
neither here
maybe
nor there.
because he's not in that league. Is that why
Well,
his
no,
name's
because
not
the
mentioned?
argument,
or-
there was some Newark and Lions people were kind of debating it.
I'll take JC.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's certainly. I mean, I don't like discussions like this because.
Rayshon Howard's also a good player.
Well,
though,
right.
so
You could say
tough.
that there's so many kids involved, and
Right.
who's better. I don't know. Can two guys be good and one not be better than the other? How do you actually know? What do you want us to do? Set up a one-on-one tournament? And the other thing about it is, a lot of this was adults talking about kids, and
course,
that's
bias,
just it's a
though.
bad look.
There's a bias too.
Yeah, I bet you if you ask the kids, they don't care. They just want to go play.
Yeah, or they buy into, they instead of just going and playing, they start buying into the stuff that these, adults are talking about. But on the thread, there was a lot of former players too that were chiming in. And anyways,
Don't
I heard
let
about
the
that thread.
adults get in your head.
I'll have to go look at that after. I'm interested.
I'm
I
sure-
saw
I'm
part
sure
of it
maybe a lot
yesterday,
of
but-
people will that are watching this. Good
It's
luck
good
finding
tease.
it. I'm not going to give you any more information than that. But
I'll try to pry it out of you after the show.
So another sure sign of spring, guys. Lacrosse is underway. Syracuse beat
Ooh.
Vermont, the men, for their first win last week, and they're back in action tonight at 6 o'clock in the JMA Wireless Dome against Albany. And then tomorrow, the SU women kick off their season against Northwestern at noon. That's a battle of top 5 ranked teams in the country, and I'm going to be there, bringing my daughter and some of her friends up. And it's the best part about a girls lacrosse game in the dome, or even a men's lacrosse game, is great seats.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of traffic, great seats, but the nachos are still the same. And so looking forward to spending some time in the
nachos.
dome tomorrow. But also locally, Hobart opens their season Saturday at noon against Canisius inside their sports dome. It's not quite as big as the
Right.
JMA Wireless Dome, but
We've talked about good weather this weekend, though, and it's going to be a little drier. Is there any chance they play outside?
I don't know. It's scheduled to be inside the sports dome, but
Right.
I would. Saturday is not going to be the warmest day. It's going to be of all the days coming up in the next week. Saturday is going to be the coldest.
I would think if it's not raining, though, and it's pretty dry out,
Yeah.
then they'll play outside, right? No matter the weather?
I
really?
have no idea.
There's no
That's a
participation?
question
No,
maybe
they-
for.
They won't logistically. They can't switch it back at this point.
Hmm.
They
Might as well
All
play
has
outside. It's going to be
spoken.
closer to 40. You might as well play outside, right?
well, it's just a matter of equipment and logistics at that point. So
Oh, it's always that
And
darn
plus-
logistics.
And I don't want to be. Well, I don't want to be that guy either. But if you gave me the option, even at this stage, inside or outside, I'll take inside.
It is different though. I guess Canisius. I don't know what Canisius's home turf is, but playing inside on artificial turf rather than outside on grass
Right.
Canisius is artificial.
is a bit. Are they?
Yeah.
But
It's
an
a lot
outdoor
smaller, too.
facility, obviously, right?
That part I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Come on, Paul.
Well, I'll be in the comfy confines of the JMA Wireless Dome.
Maybe you'll see a win, too, unlike the basketball team.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, if there's one national title contender in this area for any sports, it's the women's lacrosse team at Syracuse. Oh, and of course the men's soccer team
Right.
at Syracuse, who obviously won the national championship just a couple months ago. But also locally on lacrosse action, Cornell opens their season Saturday at noon at home versus Colgate in Ithaca. So 3 home games for the 3 local Division I lacrosse teams.
That's awesome.
This weekend. And again, another sign of spring. I mean, by the time these teams' season ends, school's out.
Right.
And that was the hard thing at Syracuse, especially when I was there. The men's lacrosse team was dominant, and we won a couple national titles at my time there. But I was always home, and all of my friends and students were home for summer vacation by the time they won it. So you didn't have that big, campus-wide celebration of a national title that you
Right.
would have for other sports.
Right.
So, but one more thing to talk about. There's another game this weekend. It's Sunday at 6:30, I think, on Fox. It's the Super Bowl, right? Philadelphia versus Kansas City. Is that who's playing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Are you guys willing to do a bold prediction right here, right now on the show?
Yeah, we had our betting preview yesterday where we kind of put it on the line, but I think even more so than yesterday during our betting prediction, I really like the Eagles. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to become confident where I don't think it's going to be as close as maybe I did even yesterday. Got the best defense in the league. I don't think that Kansas City's offensive line is going to be able to handle it. And then on the other side of the ball, Kansas City starts 3 rookies in their secondary. And Philadelphia has weapons. The only X factor still remains, Patrick Mahomes, the NFL MVP, and
Right.
Andy Reid. And both teams are 16-3 on the year. So, of course, Jalen Hurts missed some time at the end of the season, but he seems to be back to 100%. Patrick Mahomes, there's questions if he's 100% yet. Probably not. So my bold prediction is Eagles by more than one score. When it comes down the end, you're not going to see Mahomes driving down to get into field goal range to tie it. Let's put it that way. I think it'll be decided before the final drive.
Both teams score over 30 points. That's my bold prediction. I think
Yeah,
it's got a
I
high-scoring Super Bowl.
I feel like I am going towards the Eagles as well, but when I made my bold prediction, I thought it was going to be by 1 touchdown, and that was it. And then I was having flashbacks of that Patriots game where Tom Brady came back and scored however many points, and
28-3.
I think I was having that because it was on one of our TikToks. They were showing some.
Yeah,
of
Kyle
the,
posted it a couple days ago.
they
on
were
Against
TikTok.
the
showing
Falcons.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Unbelievable.
yeah, it was. But
28-3,
I
yeah.
kind of thought like there could be maybe a little bit of something like that going on.
Yeah, I know. I don't think anything could happen. NFL likes to make it exciting. Paul, your final prediction here for Super Sunday?
Neither Kelsey gets a touchdown.
Well, that's pretty
Wow.
So, but yeah, as I said yesterday, I'm rolling 27-17 Eagles. So
Oh, he's even got
Yeah.
the score locked in.
I'm rolling with.
So you got it as a 2-score game as well.
Yes,
for
correct.
the Eagles. Okay.
Rihanna's
and
gonna
what's
come
everybody's
out.
plans? Yeah, the Super Bowl halftime show, which I don't get excited about as other people. It's more of like it's a stage production. It's not like music. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine.
I
don't
enjoy
get
them
into it as-
still. I'm excited because she's like, "What are you gonna do? You better do something like kind of bold because it's been 6 years since you've performed." So I'm interested to see. And she does have some great songs that will bring you back to your high school
Yeah.
days.
Not
that-
my high school days.
No, I'm talking to our age here.
Sydney, what do you think she opens with?
You Needed Me. I feel like that
Ooh,
would
that's a good
make
one.
sense, because she's like, "Hey, I'm feeling cocky and I'm back and you needed me."
I've always thought it was Please Don't Stop the Music for the last week or two, but
Oh.
then I was going through her songs yesterday, and I was like, first of all, I was like, wait, this Rihanna has way more songs than I thought she has. She's got some amazing songs. And then I forgot about Pone de Replay.
I just was thinking that in my head.
That's
I'm like,
another
"You
good
think
song
she'd
that would
come
be
out
a
with that?"
really good starting song. In my
Everybody
opinion.
would go crazy.
Yep.
I mean, us younger generation would go crazy to start with an older song. You're right. So there is some potential. Or I hope she doesn't come out with that brand new song that not a lot of people really know because you got to start.
Oh yeah, I
You got to
feel
start
bad either.
hyped. And I also like to always try and guess who's going to pop up as a guest appearance.
Jay-Z is my guess.
Ooh, Jay-Z's good. I thought maybe she'd bring out A$AP Rocky, but I'm also like
Bring out the
trying to
hubby?
go back.
Or the
Who
significant
was
other?
good right around that time with her too? What if she brought out DJ Khaled? That'd be fun. Like now I'm like, Jim's like, yeah, whatever. But
Little Wild Thoughts action.
ooh, yeah, yes. Oh, maybe I have something here, DJ Khaled. But yeah, I am gonna be at my mom's house. She has Super Bowl parties every year. We were talking about the menu. Everybody's always so excited, and AJ, one of my family members, suggested we do something for Philly and something for KC and the very diehard fans that are
Philly
not either of them.
cheesecake and Kansas City barbecue ribs.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I already
sign
said
me up.
like, let's just do some steak and cheese quesadillas or a Philly cheesesteak for sure. I'm like, that's a fun random craving that I'm having, so we'll do that. We'll obviously have some pizza and wings, but sometimes we like to just go rogue and be like, let's just have a big pasta night or something.
I'm making 2 kinds of soup, I think, and I'm not
definitely
having
soup.
anybody over. I'm not going anywhere. I think I'm not. Super Bowl Sunday should be Super Bowl Saturday. I have no interest in going to a party on Sunday night. I mean, you
That
know,
may be because you're getting old.
no, I mean, even in the younger days, I would go to the Super Bowl party and then at halftime, like, leave. Or people would come to, we would host a Super Bowl party and I'd say, okay, but guess what? At halftime, get out of my house. Like, this is a first half Super Bowl party.
They can get long, yeah. They can definitely be a long Sunday night. But for our dedicated, diehard fans, they're like, this is it. And I would like to see the statistics of people that call into work on a Monday because of the Super Bowl. I feel like that would be
Well,
a
there's
bigger
been
number
talk
than
about
anything.
wanting to take the day, you know, making it a national holiday. But again,
That's
just
a
move
little
the game
intense.
to Saturday. I don't know why you don't. There's no college football anymore on Saturdays. There's really nothing. But whatever.
What are you
It's
doing,
Super Bowl
Nate?
Sunday. I think if it wasn't called Super Bowl Sunday, that they might be willing to do
Right.
it. But the fact that it's Super Bowl Sunday, well, guess what? You do it for a few years, all of a sudden it's Super Bowl Saturday. Then you can have the big parties and everybody can stay till the game's over.
Right.
And you know, Rihanna can do whatever song she wants.
Can't wait.
I'm in the same dilemma as Jim, actually, because I was thinking about going up to my brother's house who lives in Pittsford.
Oh, yeah.
And then just like
The drive.
leaving at 10 o'clock or whenever it ends is not ideal, but I think that's probably what I'll do.
Yeah.
I am at the point where, like I said, I'm going to make 2 kinds of soup.
I love soup.
Not like, you know, and I'll probably have some other stuff.
Gotta have some junk food too, though, right?
Yeah, probably. And then
dips.
and then I'm just going to sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
Watch all your
good.
bets win, right?
In front of my big screen, nobody around me. Well, except for my wife and daughter will probably watch the first till Rihanna's done. Then they'll probably go off, and I'll just be sitting there by myself.
That sounds. We get into it. We have the squares. We do some betting. We obviously everybody has some drinks, has some fun. The halftime show comes on. We all turn it up as loud as we can, and the guys probably like disperse a little, and the girls are like dancing and loving
awesome.
it. You know, so we get into it, but it does cause for a sleepy Monday. But yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, it's here, people. Another hint towards